Hello. So today we're here to be reacting and talking about the new Superman trailer and any expectations about the new Superman movie that is coming out. That's coming out on the 11th of July. So as we know, the new Superman movie is being directed by James Gunn. And if we were to look at some images from the 2025 Superman, we can already see that it's different to the Superman that was directed by Zack Snyder. As far as I'm aware, Zack Snyder's Superman did not have or include Crypto, which, for people who don't know, is Superman's pet dog, which also came from Krypton, just like Superman. And in the first trailer, we see images like this and images like this, which is Crypto and Superman playing in the snow outside of Superman's Fortress of Solitude, which is basically Superman's base and his version of the Batcave. And from the first trailer alone, we can already see that James Gunn's Superman is taking a different route when compared to Zack Snyder's Superman, as Zack Snyder's Superman mostly focused on portraying Superman as a sort of godlike character. Meanwhile, James Gunn's Superman is showing Superman to be a more human type of character, or more human like, as you see him playing with his dog. In the first trailer, we see him getting banged up by his dog and having to be healed by the sun, which we see it causes him visible pain. Whilst in the Snyder movie, we see that Superman heals by the sun but doesn't cause him any visible pain whatsoever. And in the latest trailer that came out yesterday, Luthor, who, as we know, is Superman's arch nemesis in nearly all medias that we see him in. And also, we also see a more another human side of Superman. Once again, we see him bleeding, which we do not necessarily see much of in Snyder Cut or in the Snyder movies. We also see a bit about Lex Luthor here. For example, we also see just how much he hates Superman to the extent that he's willing to go ahead and kill the Lewis Lane as well as Superman's parents, just because they raised him, which is an arguably Reverse Flash level of hate. People who do not know, Reverse Flash is another villain from DC Comics. He was arguably one of the most biggest haters in fiction in general. And as what we can derive from the trailers is also that not only is James Gunn's Superman focusing on the more human side of Superman, as as it tries to portray Superman as not as a god among men like Zack Snyder's did. It made Superman look like he was a god or godlike or nearly untouchable being. Meanwhile, the James Gunn's version of Superman gave Superman a more human like portrayal. It made him seem more relatable to a level, as he's not a god come to save people, quote unquote god. He's more of a human, a person who was raised as human, who happens to have powers from his point of view. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more.